Welcome back to Afternoon Express. My name is Ayanda Dlamini. Happy to be guest presenting with you guys this afternoon. So we're back in the kitchen, and I did say it's probably going to be a bit of a meaty situation. I don't have no beef with you, though, Ayanda Dlephu. He's the Woolworths product developer. So we are doing meat. What exactly are we doing today?
So as I alluded to earlier on, we are cooking the perfect steak today. I mean, the first thing you've got to think about before actually cooking the perfect steak is to first think what cuts you're after. You've got three great cuts which you could use. You've got a ribeye, you've got a sirloin, and a rump. Now, you've got to, all three cuts eat differently. But before we even start, let's maybe if you could just brush our steak here with a little bit of olive oil. We've got extra virgin olive oil, which we'll be brushing it with. I know it looks green, but it is extra virgin olive oil. Just be generous, hey, don't be shy.
Oh, no, okay. No. I love a bit of shine.
So you've got to realize that all three steaks cook differently. I mean, the muscles which move the most are obviously going to be a bit chewier and take a longer time to sort of cook. So today, the cut which we're going to be going for is the sirloin. It is a little bit chewier than the ribeye because the ribeye hardly moves as compared to the sirloin and the rump, which do a lot of moving on the cow.
Okay, so I have a question for you. When we talk sirloin and you get to a restaurant and people are like, okay, so would you like it medium rare, or cooked, well done? I've never known. I'm like, okay, so I'll just go medium rare. It sounds good.
That's the right choice. Don't worry. Don't ever ask for it well done. The chefs will come laughing at you. Cool. So you can see we've got this wonderful cap of fat here on the meat, which is what you look for before actually cooking your steak. That fat there actually is flavor. You can see here, the fat looks yellow. Some people might be a little bit scared of it, but don't be scared of it at all. The only reason why it is yellow is because the meat has been matured for a longer time to actually create that flavor.
Okay.
So we can actually, you can see we're smoking here. We're smoking a lot.
It's hot.
So what we're going to do is, it's just been extra virgin olive oil. Now will be a generous sprinkling of salt and pepper. I always use Maldon salt. The Maldon sort of like draws into the meat much quicker.
So here's my question to you. All we've used right now is a bit of salt and pepper. Now, when I was growing up and a little bit in my kitchen, when I do try to explore with the cooking, you know, you find your steak and chops, your spice, all those kind of things. You can go for that. I just don't like complicating a steak when you do it. I mean, the steak already has been matured. Our free-range steak, the one which you are cooking now, has been matured for 35 days. No steak, you should always ask the butcher another important question. How long has the steak been matured for? If he tells you 21 days, if he tells you less than 21 days, you better turn around and come to Woolies. Because all of our steaks, it has to be matured for a minimum of 21 days. Our free-range steak, though, we take the extra level to 35 days. So that's why you've got that beautiful yellow fat on the skin, on the meat as well. So here's my question. It's sizzling. It's smelling absolutely gorgeous, by the way. When do we flip it
You forget about it. You walk around, forget about the steak for a little. You don't want to move the steak too much because if you move the steak, it's going to start boiling in its own liquid. Because what it's doing now is the juices want to release, but because the pan is so hot, it's actually shooting back into the pan. So it's actually holding and keeping all those juices inside there. The perfect, I mean, there's no real time that's set in gospel that, hey, you've got to do it 2-3 minutes aside. What I like doing is you forget about it for a little bit, you look at it. If the steak can turn around with ease, you know you're there. If you're still struggling, that means that leave it there for a little bit longer.
Okay. So here's another quick question. So while cooking, do we still put things like salt and pepper?
That's what I'm going to do now. So I'll put salt on the one side. Now we'll put salt on the other side so for when we do turn it over. Another trick as well, you don't want to turn the steak over about 3 or 4 times. You cook it on the one side, cook it on the other side, cook it on the fat, just to render the fat down a little bit. So, I mean, just because we will be pressed with time, I'll turn this one around. You can see how beautiful that looks.
That's looking good.
And you can see as well on the fat, you're getting that crispiness on the fats. And that's all the flavor that's been developed over the maturing stage of the steak.
Okay, so for those who are scared of the rare situation, it's too red. So is it a matter of keeping it on for a bit longer?
That's correct, yeah. Okay. You keep it on a bit longer on each side. I mean, if you want it red, some people tell you that the steak is still running. I mean, that's your preference. I mean, I would say about 3 minutes minimum if you want to get it past that rare stage. But don't cook your steak for more than 5 minutes aside. You're going into the well done and boot leather, as chefs would call it.
And also, that's what I was going to say, you know, avoiding the whole chewy situation when you're fighting with a toothpick at the end. All right, so not too long.
I mean, there's so much time that's been put into actually making the steak eat the way it does. You don't want to mess it up or anything. One couple of minutes on each side and you're done. So what I'm going to do now is just leave it on the fat side like that. And we sort of forget about it. The fat's going to crispen up and release all those juices. The flavor in this whole steak lies in the fat. You can also see as well here actually on top, not that the camera will probably see it, but you and I can see it better.
Yes.
There's a lot of fat or some marbling, which is what it's called. You see the fat running through the meat. That's good for the meat. That means
Okay.
that as the meat is cooking, it's going to release that fat and actually start sizzling up the steak even more.
Okay. Now, I love how you've fallen in love with the fat, but a lot of people are scared of fat on the meat. What you got to say to them?
So if you are scared of the fats, I would say leave the fats on during the cooking process because it actually helps with keeping the juices of the meat and actually developing the flavor on the meat. After cooking the steak, you can always trim the fat. A lot of people do that. They'll trim the fat off completely and slice it into small little slices or into medallions. But I would suggest you keep the fat during the cooking process because that's where the flavor lies. You can always remove it afterwards.
Okay, well, I'm loving each and every single bit of it. It looks pretty simple. We didn't use too much, so it looks like it's something that we can definitely get used to in the kitchen. So it's pretty simple. If you also want to get involved and find out some more information, whether it be you want to get a link to the recipe, a list of the ingredients, SMS steak to 33650 and you'll get all those details. Florence is still with us in the studio. She's absolutely gorgeous, so no stranger to television. Let's find out what Bonnie and Florence are getting up to right now. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Ayanda Dlamini guest presenting this afternoon, and I'm back in the kitchen with Anda. So, Anda, let's get straight to it. We've been heating, in fact, we've been cooking up the steak.
Yes, that's
It is done. It's good.
Steak is done. Let's see what we're going to pair the steak with now.
Okay.
Beautiful pesto just to top the steak off. So you can use any soft herbs you'd like here. Today we'll be going with Italian parsley. You could use your coriander.
Okay.
So we're going to chuck all of that inside here. Let me just tear it. Ooh, let me not make too much of a mess.
Okay, what do you want me to do on the side?
You could actually start cutting that lemon for me in half.
All
I won't
right.
use all of this.
That
I
should
can
be
see it's a
good.
lot.
That's pretty
So
simple
pesto,
enough.
typically you'll add your herbs first. You'll always have some sort of nuts. Today we're using almonds. These are blanched almonds from Woolies, already blanched for you. All we've done is just toasted them. Then we'll take also from the lemon, we've got lemon zest, which we're adding
All right.
just for flavor. We've got garlic, which has also been chopped up very finely there for us. We'll take the lemon which you've sliced, just squeeze a little bit of lemon juice there.
All right.
And then just to finish it off, the olive oil.
Okay.
Be generous with that. That is what makes the pesto, the olive oil and the juice from the...
And of course the taste as well.
So you can just blend that.
Okay. It looks pretty straightforward. Very simple enough.
And a
Just a
pesto
few
should
ingredients.
always, I mean, you don't have to be very fine with the pesto. Pesto is there to be rustic, you know, so it doesn't have to be completely fine. Let's just pull that one a little bit more.
Okay. I love the smell already.
You can get
the basil, the lemon.
the lemon, and you get the olive oil as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna plate now. What we're gonna do is, I'll take the steak and I'll just slice it up into slices for you.
Okay.
You could slice
Fantastic.
it any way you want.
Well, that's it.
So you can see cooked beautifully. As you can see, a wonderful
my
piece there.
Goodness. All right. Oh, man, that looks juicy.
Don't chow it yet.
Well, this is my piece for later on. Put it in the corner. Thank you
So
very
you
much.
can see,
Okay.
I'll just leave that piece like that there. You
And
can
of course,
slice the other one
presentation
as
is
well.
good. Presentation always good,
So
right?
today when you're serving sort of platters like this for a couple of people, presentation is very key, but it doesn't have to be fine dining.
All right.
So we're going to go with, we're just going to play around and see how that
Okay,
goes. You can
that's
push that to
great
the side.
because always get your fingers dirty. It makes these extra delicious. We've got some tomatoes and some more leaves. What's going on this
You
side?
could actually just place some tomatoes and place some leaves there for me. I'll
which
start
way
getting
to
to this pesto.
All
So all
right.
rustic. Remember what I said, nothing needs to be
oh
perfect.
yes,
here.
oh yes. All right, just spreading it
That's
out. And
fine.
some of the leaves as well?
Take some of the leaves, place
Okay,
them
so
there
this is
as
still my
well.
basil here?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
With basil here, just tear it. Don't be shy.
Oh, don't be shy. Don't be shy. All right, I'm not going
We
to be
can
shy.
just drop it on
There we
top
go.
there.
Okay,
cool. We've got the
there we
cheese just
go.
to finish it off. I'll start
Okay.
finishing off the steak with the pesto.
All right, it's looking like a blob. What's going on?
So
over there?
this is buffalo mozzarella. It comes in a big round chunk. You've just got to tear it up. Just be rustic about it again.
Well, this is the great thing about cooking and what I've learned in the kitchen at Afternoon Express is that actually we don't have to be so gentle. We can just roughen things up a little bit, adds to the flavor.
We're not in a restaurant or anything, so
No.
rustic. I love rustic
no,
food.
No, okay,
You can see.
loving
Look
this.
at how beautiful that pesto looks.
Oh, that looks amazing. My goodness, okay.
And just to finish your salad off there, I mean, it is done. We can leave it like that. Top
Okay.
it off. Maybe just.
Where's my good old cloth? All right.
I don't have a cloth for you right now. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm
And then
taking
if
from
I
the
had
kitchen,
if I had a clean spoon, I would just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there.
Okay, lovely.
But we can do
Absolutely
that.
gorgeous.
And there you go.
And there you go. So simple it is. And it's so simple for you too at home. If you want to join us in the kitchen, get involved. It is so easy. To get the list of the ingredients and the recipe, SMS the keyword, and that keyword is steak, to 33650. And then, of course, if you've missed any of this, you want to make sure you got it for tonight, here is the recap.
welcome back. It's about that time. We get to sample your dish, girl.
Well,
what is it?
thank you. Well, we are having a sirloin with some basil pesto, and it's looking all very colourful and delicious. Enjoy it, please.
Wow. And that
Yes.
shade you threw at the ladies who wear plastic on their
Look,
heads?
can we please just save the... But honestly, you relate to
Yeah,
it,
but
don't
what
you?
is that
all relate.
about?
No, all I'm saying is let's save the environment and save our hair at the same time. Aren't it?
Yeah.
It definitely
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Florence, so inspired by you today, honestly. And Bonnie, you're right. You know, as we're growing up and coming up in the industry, trying to figure out the hair thing has always been a big thing.
Yeah, because it's an identity thing.
It is an identity
Taking
thing.
pictures and identity.
Our kids are starting, they're braiding kids at a very young age. So the traction now, Orange Jeeps, we're not seeing it at 40, 50, we sing it 18 years old.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
because we're braiding and weaving and putting all these heavy things on the children. So that really needs
The
to...
biggest message we need to be telling people is please just let black hair be.
Wow.
Because when you just let your hair be, you're not going to be pulling it and causing the
Yes.
traction alopecia and all these other damaging things that we do to it.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
I mean, look how beautiful. You're all natural.
Absolutely.
Natural for the day, yes.
Florence,
In fact,
what can we-
even under
sorry,
as
sorry,
well,
Dom.
yes.
Florence, what can we expect from you coming up? Movies? What are you producing? What are you working on?
I have a script that must get finished. That I'm missing deadlines, but I'm producing another film in Venda. I'm very excited about it. I might appear in it because I'm not finding somebody to play one character. But Furu Mugobani, who played Ayanda,
Yes, she's amazing.
she's amazing,
incredible.
very, very talented young girl. Here's my thing. I don't think people will write many vendor roles for me to play, so I have to write as many vendor roles for as many vendor actresses and
That's
actors
awesome.
as possible.
That's awesome.
Sure.
And yourself, Professor, just your work around bringing awareness, do you find that people are becoming more and more aware and understand what they're doing to their skins and their hair?
Yeah, sure, because I think what was also a realization for me is that we think people out there know what the problems are. They don't know.
They don't.
They don't know. And once we educate them and inform them, they actually appreciate it and they change their ways of doing
Yeah.
things. And what we're planning to do now is we are in discussion with the Department of Education and Department of Health, and we're going to introduce skin and hair care at a young age during their life orientation program.
Beautiful.
And this goes for both black and white kids,
Yeah.
because the skin cancer, the sun tanning, damaging the skin and causing skin cancer, they don't know about those things.
Right.
So I think it's our responsibility as scientists and academics to plant the seed at an early stage,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm actually working on right
And we
now.
just need to say to parents, just leave the child's hair. Just let it be. As long as it's clean and it's neat, just stop blowing out your child's hair.
Blow out.
You're gonna blow
And I
out.
think you're right, because as parents, we're trying to manage the situation.
Yeah.
But actually, in trying to manage the situation, we are actually messing with the
messing
situation.
Yeah.
We're forgetting that it doesn't need to be managed, it doesn't need to be controlled.
It's not a
it doesn't
situation.
need to be, it's not a problem.
Ooh, I need to change my language.
We don't need to be solving black hair, and it's not a dilemma.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I'm schooled today. I'm definitely
you are
schooled
schooled.
today.
And I must tell you, the weaves, in the last 5 or 7 years, we didn't
Okay.
see so many problems. The weaves have
We
really
literally
caused
have
a problem.
15 seconds to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Got to get this
Yes.
in. Thank you
Get
so
this
much
in.
for joining us. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much for joining us, girl. We
thank you.
love
It was
you. Happy eating.
Another feel-good production.